What's going on, guys? How you doing today? I know it's approaching the end of period. We get out at 3, so try to be as quick as I possibly can, because I know you're probably getting bored, and history can be very extremely boring. Trust me, I know. I sat through 4 years of history classes with Dr. Keith Bohannon. So, but I know, as you guys know, we've been discussing the Age of Enlightenment and the scientific revolution and how it has transformed and how it really gave Europe a metamorphosis. It changed the way they lived, and it changed the way they thought. It changed their thinking patterns. We are familiar with the scientific method which gave Galileo and other types of scientists came out during this time period. But today I want to focus on the Age of Enlightenment in the context of the ability to reason and the ability to engage in intellectual reasoning. So let me ask you this question: how do we as people respond to change?
Not well.
Not well. Why not well? Why do you say not well?
It's not what we're used to.
It's not what we're used to. Anybody else wanna refute that? Nobody? So
the longer you do something, the less likely you want to change what you do.
Okay. Anybody else? I see.
I think for most people that's true, but some people get bored with doing the same thing repetitively. They want something different.
Okay.
I almost need change, or I get very. I like to diminish the longer I have to do something. I need to change it up.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. So can we agree with this premise? There are 3 basic ways to deal with change. You have people who embrace change, you have people who tolerate change, and you have people who reject change. Can we agree with that premise? So those people who embrace change is really easy to understand. They embrace it, they live for it because it makes them go. Now, people who tolerate change are those people who say, you can change can occur, but as long as it does not affect me, I'm cool with it. But if it affects me, you need to get out of my face with it. Okay, that's being real. Now, how you reject change, I call it the crab syndrome. Are we familiar with how crabs are caught? Well, right before they're captured, what they'll do, in order to get in their minds that they won't be captured, they do their claws and they do like this. And what ends up happening, the change overtakes them instead. So whenever you reject change, what's going to end up happening? The change will eventually overtake you. And in the Age of Enlightenment, you see this type of pattern because you have the people through, I don't want to give you the name right now, but you have some great philosophers who embrace change. They embrace the way people thought. They embrace the way people embrace change in the context of how people were willing to live their lives. And you also had those people who just tolerated. Yeah, these are some great ideas, but hey man, don't bother my money. Because if you get your change into the ideals of these people, that takes away my power, takes away my authority, and I can't deal with it. And you have those people who rejected change. You have the authority figures who were not very well pleased with what was going on. Welcome to the Age of Enlightenment. We're going to be looking at 3 main figures today. John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Voltaire. Now, John Locke is a very, very interesting character to me. I kind of think he has a Michael Jackson thing going on with the long hair, but, you know, I may be wrong. Now, he looks weird, but as we'll find out, he is extremely, extremely gifted, talented philosopher. He wrote so many great things that, as you will see, that may have affected our society. I'll let you find it out for yourself. And then you also have Rousseau. Now, I like his picture, right? He seems to be really swagged out to me. I like the hair, I like the outfit. You know, he had a lot of swag back in the day. Now, Voltaire. Voltaire is probably one of my most favorite figures of the Enlightenment period. As you can see, I have a radio box right here. He came out with an interesting quote. He said, anything that's too stupid to be said will be sung. Has anybody ever heard of the song by 2 Chainz? Birthday song? All I want for my birthday is a big booty girl. Now that's too stupid to be said to a regular person. So it has to be sung. It has to be sung. Then we have Selena Gomez. I love you like a love song, baby. I don't get that either. So I can't imagine me telling my wife, hey babe, I love you like a love song. She'd probably slap me. But now, let's move on. So we have been introduced to the age of the Enlightenment period. We understand what these men are doing. We understand that they won't change, that they want people to think for themselves instead of relying on the government and authority to make decisions for them. So with the age of enlightenment, these philosophers believed that people had the natural ability to reason within their own minds. Therefore, the government should be set in its respectful and rightful place. Can we see any problems that the government might have with this? Because I want to give you some background information. During this specific time period, you have what I like to call a divine rule, meaning that the rulers or the monarchs believed that it was their divine right to rule the people because God had given them that authority. So if, let's say for example, Stephen, that you are this great king, you're this great monarch, and you have this low-shot philosopher who's coming and telling your people, hey, you have the ability to think for yourself. You don't really need to be governed by the monarch. How would that make you feel?
I'm going to reject change. I'm going to be in that category of the three.
You're going to reject change.
Yeah.
Because you see that it's taking away your
The
power.
divine power.
The divine power. Okay.
And people are they're going to question me.
Okay. Good deal. So now, what I want you guys to do. Wait, matter of fact, I'm tired of talking. I'm sorry, guys. So,
Okay, first I know you probably got tired of hearing me talk, because I certainly did. I want you guys to get into 3 groups and discuss among yourselves how you think the ideas of these 3 men change the world of Europe, and also how they affect us today. I have outlined what is important for you to know in this discussion. However, if you have any prior knowledge, please feel free to share with your group. You will have 5 minutes, and then you will present your material to the class.
So, if you don't mind, would you be a group for me? And you look at the ideas of John Locke, okay? Can you be a group and look at the ideas of Voltaire? And then, Dr. Butler, would you like to get involved?
Sure.
Okay. I want you guys to look at the ideas of Rousseau. I give you 5 minutes. And that's right. It's a group handout. I'm sorry. I don't put it out there.
Y'all look at it. I'm fly. I know. Which is not a lot. I'm out to remember. But when I talk world history.
Shit, go ahead. Well, I want you to see if you could link the ideas that these guys had, and I want you to see if they have affected our society today. Did everybody hear the vocal clear, or was it unclear for you to understand? Did you understand? So, okay, I want you guys to separate into groups of 3, and I want you to discuss and elaborate on the ideas of the person I assigned you to see if you can see how their ideas affected Europe and our society today. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just take it for granted.
Yeah, that's not working.
Religion first.
Yeah.